Good evening. I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the WWNO radio program Louisiana Eats. Hey, Miss Poppy. And we're so thrilled she's with us. It's been a while. New Orleans-born soprano and opera singer Sarah Jane McMahon. Great to see you, dear.
Thank you. You too.
And tonight with the ensemble Lyrica Baroque, who'll be performing for us later in our program, and they'll be giving a special concert at Tulane's Dixon Hall this Sunday. And of course, Mr. Alan Smason, theater critic for us and the editor of the online Crescent City Jewish News. Good to see you. Yeah. Hello. But first up, Poppy, we had an interesting Memorial Day.
We had the most fun on Memorial Day that I think you can have in a cemetery.
Do tell.
Well,
do share.
It was the kickoff to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse 50th anniversary. And in their inimitable style, everything happens at the Fertel Duke tomb in Metairie Cemetery.
And Lana Duke was her good friend, and she's still with us, and she helped put it together. We should. And Miss Fertel is no longer with us, sadly.
Yeah,
yes, but it was very, very nice. And actually, we have a little clip where Father Robert Mass, a wonderful priest, had a little poem to share with us all.
When Archbishop Hannon got to Ruth's Chris, he made up his own blessing. Lord, we thank you that we're able to put our feet under this table. And we know they always got something good in the pot, so let's get it while it's hot.
So there's Lana Duke, of course, second lining, and the weather complied, which was really good too. And that's the Yad Pack. Wasn't that fun though, Pop?
Oh, it was so much fun. There was Rock and Doopsie, the Yad Pack, a brass band, and then there was the incredible, iconic Ruth's Chris meal. There was filet and the cream spinach and shrimp with remoulade. It was really swell, wasn't it?
It was. It was.
Only in New Orleans could you have a party in a cemetery quite like that, huh?
Truly, and the tomb is gorgeous too. We should point out.
Oh, it's gorgeous. So the party never stops in New Orleans, though. So this weekend, the party's happening at the Oyster Festival, and this is something that Sal Sinceri started because he wanted people to know that just because it's May and we're heading into June, that's no reason to not eat oysters, because Louisiana oysters are delicious right into the summertime. So Saturday and Sunday at Waldenburg Park from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m., there's all sorts of wild things going on. There's the P&J oyster shucking competition, the New Orleans Fish House largest oyster contest, and oh, that shucking, they're serious. The Acme Oyster Eating Contest is on Sunday, and of course, you know, it's professionals compete. And the food, Acme Oyster House, Andrea's, Antoine's, Bourne, Bourbon House, Café Reconcile, Café Hope, the Desire Oyster Bar, Drago's, Giacomo's, Katie's, La Bayou, Redfish Grill. I don't know who's going to be working in the restaurants this weekend. They're all going to be out there. And the new restaurant, Sacale and Trinesse. Oh. Then another big kickoff is happening tomorrow. It is the annual Eat Local Challenge kickoff. And of course, that goes for the whole month of June. And the challenge is to only eat within a 100-mile radius of New Orleans. That's where the food must come from. And so it's just a whole month of incredible Eat Local fun. Check out some of their events. Beekeeping seminars to an insect field trip, complete with an insect cooking demo. Imagine that. Wild game cook-off, bycatch happy hour at Carmo, bike tours, farm tours, foraging walks, tea farming, cheese making, home brewing. You can go on a Gulf Reef spearfishing trip with Tenny Flynn. There's 80 restaurants participating, so you can still eat out. And here's what's next. All summer long, it's time for Temperature Lunch again. It's returning to Palace Cafe for its 21st year. It is the best deal in town. Go the day after you had a rainy day, because the temperature the day before is what the price of the two-course meal is. So it's $8.50 if it was $85 the day before. And the two courses, you get a choice of their duck and alligator gumbo or a whirlline salad as a starter, and the entrees change daily. And then the sweet sweetest event of the year is next Sunday, WYES Chocolate Sunday.
Absolutely.
It is in a new venue. I can't wait to go this year. It's in the New Orleans Lakefront Airport Terminal. And if you've never seen the beautifully restored terminal, enough is a reason to go. Besides chocolate martinis and Zapp's Cajun Crawtators Bar, Mantello crepe bites. Oh, how about a dark chocolate tart with Earl Grey caramel from windowsill pies? There's savory food too. It's going to be so much fun, and it's just $35 in advance. You get in an hour early for a $50 VIP ticket.
That's a good deal.
Oh my goodness, so much chocolate, so little time. And there's some savory things to eat too.
All right.
I guess I'll see you there.
Absolutely. And now, though, it's time for our Artist Spotlight. And tonight, we are featuring works by local photographer Cord McPhail. Here's a can of Schwegman beer from his great photographs from his vintage beer can series. We also have a vintage can of Jack's beer. Right there, too. So these are actually photos. Almost reminds me of Andy Warhol, you know, in the soup cans. A self-taught photographer, McPhail is also known for his portraits. And we have one, let's show you. Look at this, Machia Lake. Look at that. And you may see more of his work at the Arts Market of New Orleans. That's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Palmer Park. Or you can actually go to cordmcphail.com to see more of his art on his website. But now it's time to go over to Sarah Jane. And Sarah Jane, tell us, and don't forget, by the way, Patricia McMurray, wonderful jewelry designer, is also at the park, and that'd be great. So now, on to you, Miss Sarah Jane. It has been really a while. You have a CD out. Let's talk about that briefly first, and then we'll go into Lyrica Baroque.
It's called Blessings and Silver Linings. I actually recorded it about a year ago. It's a collection of old standards and New Orleans favorites. It's available at the Catholic Bookstore and my website, sarahjanemcmahon.com.
What a great photograph. Where was that shot?
Actually, that was shot in Denver. And I recorded it
right. It looks like City Park.
I know, it does. It does. It looks exactly like City Park, but it was actually in Denver, Colorado. And I recorded this when I was pregnant with Caroline, and
who's 18 months
who's
now?
already 18 months. I know. I don't know where the time has gone.
Precious.
But she loves it. She actually goes to sleep with it every night. So
congratulations. But let's talk about you're with this wonderful ensemble, and we're here with us tonight. Tell us about what's going to happen. First of all, set up Lyrica Baroque.
Sure. Well, it's a chamber ensemble that I perform with, and I have performed with them since 2009. It's kind of the brainchild of Jaron Atherholt, who's the principal oboist for the Louisiana Philharmonic. And it's 6 of the finest musicians really in the world, one of which is Joe Meyer, who is our former concert master. We fly him in from Charlotte, where he's now the concert master with the Charlotte Symphony. We have Ben Atherholt, who is a bassoonist in our orchestra, and Daniel Lilchek, who's a cellist in our orchestra, and then our pianist is Angela Park, who's Canadian, and she's an award-winning chamber musician from Canada.
So you've been giving concerts from time to time. So this is chamber ensemble meets opera.
Yes, we like to call it opera fusion because what's really unique about our group is there are many chamber ensembles in the United States, but we don't know of any other ensemble that has the vocal component. So of course, I'm thrilled that they've included me and asked me to do this. And it's just so rewarding because to hear these musicians play, I mean, you just don't want to miss it because they are phenomenal. They are so musical, and it's just one of my favorite performances that I do, and we really only do one performance a year. So.
Okay. Well, we'll get to them in just a moment, but also I wanted to ask you about upcoming gigs.
Oh,
what are you going to be doing?
Well, actually, just about a month from now, I'll be in New York City doing a Broadway concert at Town Hall, right on 42nd and Broadway. And
That's an honor.
Oh, it's wonderful. I've done a bunch of these. They're called Broadway by the Year, and I sing a few songs. It's a certain time period. So this one is going to be 1990 to 2012, I believe. So I think one of the things I'll be singing is Light in the Piazza, and of course I love that role and I love that song. And what's wonderful is it's on Monday nights, and you know, Broadway shows are dark that night, so it really gets a great crowd because, especially with tourists, they're looking for something to do that night.
And this is a town hall.
A town hall right on Broadway.
Okay. Yeah. And then just looking ahead, though, you're going to be playing Stella.
I am, but before Stella, though, I'll be in Dallas. I'll be doing a world premiere with with Dallas Opera called Becoming Santa Claus. It's a new children's opera written by Mark Adamo. I just did the workshop in Washington, D.C., and for Opera America. It was a big success for Dallas Opera. And then after that, I go to Tulsa to sing my first Stella.
Is this the Andre Previn?
It is. It's the opera version of Streetcar Named Desire. So I'm thrilled. I can't wait for that.
Oh, that'll be just thrilling. Well,
Yeah.
great. Okay, well now though, it's time. We'll let Sarah Jane get ready and go over there. But here's Sarah Jane, and we've got pianist Angela Park, violinist Joseph Meyer, oboist Jaron Atherholt, and her husband Benjamin Atherholt on bassoon, performing Del Vieni Don Todar from Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro. Do not miss Lyrica Baroque. That's Sunday at 3 o'clock at Dixon Hall. And what a special thing. And thanks to Friends of Music. It's under their auspices, too. Look at that, friendsofmusic.org. Now, New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Louis Trockman gave us the name of the facility that is the headquarters for the Louisiana National Guard, and another that is a military air station, Louisiana National Guard, Jackson Barracks, and the military air station, Alvin Callender Field. Now, tonight's question. City Park is known for its historic oaks. Name 2. And there are plenty of them. Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes: a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a gift certificate for 2 courtesy of Vianne's Tea House in Old Mandeville, offering their culinary and gourmet tea experience. And tonight we have a t-shirt as worn by WYES production assistant Burke Bischoff, and a kitchen towel, both with the message, a Pinot Grigio for your thoughts. Love it. From our friends at wearablevegetables.com. And a reminder that you can visit WYES.org, and of course there you can see our calendar, and we also have our online calendar and our lineup of events. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel. Time for Alan.
Well, the American Theater Wing's Tony Awards are next Sunday evening in New York, but the buzz is being felt all the way down yonder here in New Orleans because several of our very own are in the mix as nominees or have shows that are being nominated. First of all, our native New Orleanian Patricia Clarkson, the daughter of former councilperson Jackie Clarkson, is up for a featured actress in a play Tony for her role opposite Bradley Cooper in The Elephant Man. And that was a limited run, of course, that was on Broadway. She played the very famous British actress Dame Madge Kendall. Patricia's not the only New Orleans native, however, who's expected.
Her mom is going to be her date at the Tonys. I ran into Jackie.
Yes,
okay.
that's true. So anyway, Patricia's not the only native New Orleanian, though, who's expected at this year's Tony Awards. Our very own Lisa D'Amour, who won an Obie Award for her Nita and Zita about 15 years ago. She is nominated, at least the award is nominating process right now going through for 4 Tony Awards for her play Airline Highway.
Wow.
And she's had some really great success in Chicago, now in New York. It's a limited run. It's going to end on June the 15th, but it's got a lot of buzz. Lisa, again, set this particular play on the outskirts of New Orleans on what we used to call Airline Highway, now Airline Drive, and it's filled with a host of quirky characters. The storyline tells about a woman who is actually dying and decides to host her own wake so that she can say goodbye to all of her friends. One of the characters, by the way, is based on a character not unlike our own Big Frida, a transgender bounce rap artist. And others are having emotional issues with girlfriends and boyfriends. The play is up, again, as I said, for 4 Tony Awards, including lighting, design, and costuming. And again, one of the other things about Airline Highway is that he's not nominated himself, but the director of Airline Highway, Joe Mantello, won a Tony Award back in 2004 for his work that he did when he directed Stephen Sondheim's Assassins. At that time with Neil Patrick Harris and, of course, Mario Cantone and our own New Orleanian now who lives here, Michael Cerveris. So we have that connection now, too. Michael's nominated in Fun Home. That is the award, of course, is for leading actor in a musical, but it's the story of a young girl who's played by 3 different actresses, all of who have been nominated for a Tony Award. And he's dealing, of course, with his situation as being gay himself. And the girl, of course, is having feelings for other same-sex partners and things of that sort as well. So basically, she's dealing with coming out herself. They call their Pennsylvania home Fun Home because they also maintain a family business. It's a funeral home. So it's got music that's based, of course, on Janine Tesori, who was nominated for Shrek, of course, and Violet. She, of course, is a great composer in her own right. And meanwhile, closer to home, it's a Broadway homecoming that few have seen. Aside from that, we're going to have talk about next, and that's Merrily, We Roll Along. So the Tonys, notwithstanding, this did not make it to a Tony Award process because it only ran for about 20 performances. But Merrily, We Roll Along is told in flashback. Those of you who have seen the work or know about it, we have 3 main characters there, played, of course, of Rich Arnold and Leslie Castay and Kevin Murphy, and they are not yet about to admit exactly what's happened between the 3 of them. At the beginning, we find out backwards in time as they become famous. And again, for those who don't know the songs like Old Friends, Opening Doors, Not a Day Goes By, you need to check this out. It's an excellent cast with Tom Chianfiki giving superb direction. I would really highly recommend it. 18 total performers in all. And again, I would tell you that if you have a chance to go see it, it plays through June the 6th. Highly recommended performance of Stephen Sondheim's Merrily We Roll Along. Meanwhile, at the Anthony Bean Community Theater, they've mounted a major project. It still needs some work, and it would be basically a good production. I think it could be turned into a great production, but it still needs a little bit of work as far as I was concerned. The cast is headed up, though, by Asia Nelson and Giselle Nakid. They give good performances. One of the most engaging characters is Damian Moses, who plays Mister. He is the fellow who buys Celie from her quote-unquote father. The music is played by a two-piece band, if you will, combo of keyboards and drums, and I thought that much of the arrangements, which was a beautiful score, could have been lost in translation due to the fact that they only had two people playing the parts. But there are nevertheless some really good performances, such as Tamika Williams in her role as Shug Avery. She was fabulous. Again, The Color Purple plays through June the 14th, Anthony Bean Community Theater doing some great work there as well. And for those of you who would like a little comedy in their lives, Yvette Hargis delivers on all cylinders. The search for signs of intelligent life in the universe. I got to see a little bit of this last week at Mid-City Theater. She is doing the role, of course, that Lily Tomlin did, and maybe about 8 or 10 different characters that she plays, all getting buzzwords, if you will, that are coming in at different times. She changes characters like that at the drop of a hat, but she's very, very good in the role, and I would really recommend that quite highly at the Mid-City Theater.
Alan, just a PS on the Tony notes. Another character in the Airline Highway show is there's a poet in the show, and it's based on a New Orleans poet, Danny Kerwick, and he is a friend of Lisa's, and actually gave her some guidance or some inspiration. So I'm so excited about. I mean, all these connections.
I mean, it's an amazing thing when you think about it. New Orleans has sort of got its own little spotlight now on the Tonys.
There's not just Hollywood South. There's the theater too. All right, Alan. Thank you so much. Now, though, it's time for our picks. Poppy.
Well, I'm always remiss in being too late for people to make reservations at Arno's for Easter brunch. They're doing a Bastille Day wine dinner. It's not until, of course, July 14th, but make your reservations because it's going to sell out like everything does there.
Sarah Jane.
Mine is going to be the Crescent City Bridge race, which is next Saturday. Because I don't know if you've ever run that before, but it is so beautiful. I think it begins at 6 o'clock.
It's on the bridge?
Yes, and you're running while the sunset, is going down, and it's just... It's beautiful. And of course, Lyrica Baroque.
Of course. Mr. Allen.
Well, anybody knows what parthenogenesis is? It's actually where insects will basically have their own children without a male. Essentially, She Was Born is being played right now at the Tigerman Den, 3113 Royal Street. I saw it. It's experimental theater and also performance artists all rolled into one.
All right, thank you. And now time for my picks. The Symphony Book Fair to benefit the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra continues this weekend at the UNO Human Performance Center. That's right by the arena. And the Kamenka Ethnic Dance and Music Ensemble will be performing their 35th annual spring concert. Wow. Loyola, that's tomorrow evening and Sunday afternoon. And dances from countries all around the world will be performed. Tickets are $15 at the door. And for more information, call 529-4676 or email rhodej@copper.net. One final note, producer Francesca Lalor will discuss our city's Irish heritage on Sunday at 10 a.m. and then repeated at 11:30 a.m. on News Talk 106.108 FM radio too. So that'll be a lot of fun. So it's so great to see you, Sarah Jane. I'm just so thrilled that you're here. That you get to be with us. Now, sometimes when you're in town, do you also sing at the cathedral?
I do, yes. I sing Sundays, pretty much every other Sunday, 9 o'clock and 11, is that right? 9 and 11. So, I get my masses confused sometimes, but 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Sundays, yes, at the cathedral. I love it. It's an honor.
Wonderful. And now, though, it is time to go to the final selection with Lyrica Baroque that we'll get to see, and that is, once again, they'll be performing it on Sunday, Rejoice Greatly from Handel's Messiah. Thank you all for watching, and good night.
Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice greatly. Rejoice, O daughter of Zion. O daughter of Zion, rejoice, rejoice, rejoice. Rejoice greatly, shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Merrily.